Good afternoon to all of you who are popping in here for our live. Welcome, 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 welcome. Today's Tuesday, August 18th. I think I have today listed as the 17th. Let's fix that. It's the 18th already, people. There we go. There we are. Awesome. Enjoy some of these pictures. I know you're seeing a lot more pet pictures, which I'm sure we're all right with. Yep, these are... Hey, Frog. Hello. Still have no idea who you are. Not fair. Tanya's in. Woohoo! Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So welcome to our live edition of our Q&A. We do this every Tuesday here on our YouTube channel. Gives you a chance to ask your questions, and we'll do our very best to answer those questions for you. But you're seeing a lot more pet pictures right now. We've got a contest going on for those of you who aren't familiar with it. Our contest is, last week it was all about masks, and if you could send in the best picture of the mask or most creative, you were the winner, which by the way was Jesus Torres. Congratulations on that. So he got a $40 gift card to the Pilot Flying J, but he also got a cap from the Decker store too. So I'm here. Can you see me? Can you hear me? I guess is the most important. Can you hear me? Yeah? Audio? Are we good? Can you hear me? Tanya, can you tell me if you can hear me? Because I'm in no man's land here. So. I'm kind of waiting to make sure that we're good there. Shows we're excellent connection, so we'll see how excellent that is as I see it pause. Yes. Okay, golden. So let's continue talking about this. The photo contest. This is basically going from, we've got 4 weeks of it. Last week was our first week. It was about mask, and you can see here, you can see there that we had the mask contest last week. Jesus Torres won. He won a $40 gift card to the Pilot Flying J and a Decker cap. This week is still up for grabs, so if you haven't already submitted your photo of your pet, make sure that you get it over to us, marketing@deckermail.com. And the reason I'm late popping on is I wanted to make sure that I got everybody's pictures that I currently have that have been sent to me through marketing@deckermail.com or through the Facebook page, facebook.com/DTLinc. You can submit questions to either one of those, and of course any pictures that you want to share. So send them my way and I'll get them posted. So this week is pets. You have to have those pictures in by noon tomorrow. Noon cutoff, and then once it hits noon, then I'm going to start creating a collage, and then you guys are going to have to choose your favorite pet picture. Now, that being said, we had 13 submissions in the masks, and I have no idea how many submissions we've had so far in the pet pictures, but we've had quite a few. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do one image. I think it's going to have to be a little video slideshow with numbers on it. So I think that's going to be the best way to do it. What do you guys think? Do you think I can fit all those pictures? They're going to be little pictures if that's the case. Or should I do a video slideshow? I don't know. Let me know what you think, and we'll do whatever you guys are telling me to here. Okay? All right, so the next week, which, let me back up. So once Wednesday comes around, we'll make the collage, whether it be video or image, your choice. And then we'll make the collage. You'll start voting once it's posted on our Facebook channel, facebook.com/DTLinc. And the winners will be announced on Friday afternoon. So get your votes in, and of course, get your submissions in if you haven't already. $40 gift card, Pilot Flying J, and a Decker cap. And then the following week, so next week is going to be What's for Dinner. And I get some awesome pictures for What's for Dinner. I like to see those. And then as well, the last week is What's Your Favorite Hobby? So you can show us you in action on your favorite hobby, or some of the pictures that you've had while you're out and about doing whatever it is that your hobby is. Lego, hiking, Those are some ideas, at least. All right? All right. Well, I had to get the fun stuff out of the way, but let's talk about the CSA violations. That's kind of the topic of today. Reason being, next week, well, starting on Sunday, the 23rd, is the Brake Safety Week. So you guys remember that Brake Safety Week it's an annual thing. And this week it's starting from the 23rd to the 29th. And we'll be basically aware of all the inspections that are out there. There is one other air brake or brake safety inspection that's kind of like a flash mob inspection. You know, it's an unannounced inspection that'll be going on one other time during this year. We're obviously not aware when that will happen, but just be aware if you're doing a thorough job on your pre-trip, then you'll be prepared for it. This week, however, it's from the 23rd to the 29th. We do know that it's coming up, Brake Safety Week. It's part of CDSA's Operation Air Brake program. So that's there's 2 annual brake safety campaigns here in 2020. This has been going on since what? 1998 or something like that? It's been a while. So, hey Bob, how goes it? I know about violations. Oh, you set yourself up for that one. I love it. Always the wrong time. So we, like I said, during both the announced and the unannounced, they'll be doing the campaigns. These campaigns are going to be enforcing additional inspections, both on commercial vehicles and buses. They'll conduct the brake system inspections, primarily level 4 inspections. That's the majority of those. So again, on both the commercial, like the tractor trailer, and the buses throughout North America. It'll help us to identify any of the out-adjustment brakes, any brake system violations. And this week, the annual outreach and the enforcement campaign is designed to improve the commercial vehicle safety throughout the U.S. and throughout North America as a whole. So if you weren't already aware that the number of accidents and the number of fatalities because of improper or broken brakes of any sort is huge. Bob, I just read your comment, enjoying retirement. Are you really? Are you retired? I haven't talked to you for so darn long. I have no idea. Fill me in. Yes, so brake safety is one of the highest violations that is found during inspections or the biggest out-of-service violation, most common out-of-service violation that's found during inspection. So I think that's that right there is kind of an eye-opener. And the number of fatalities that you'll see during those inspections or because of brake issues is phenomenal. Out for a while. Hopefully it's not because of your health, Bob. Hope you're feeling all right. Haven't been checking up on you lately. All right, so we're going to be talking about, like I said, CSA violations, how we can improve on them, why it's important for a driver to know what the CSA violations can do to them or for or against them, and also how it will affect the company. So all of that is what we'll be talking about. If you guys have questions, as always, please leave it in the chat so that between Tanya and I, we can answer those for you and keep that information provided for you. Good, Bob. That means you'll keep checking in on us. All right. So brake safety, how do you prevent it? First and foremost, just like any other violation that's out there when it comes to equipment, if you do a proper pre-trip, you're going to be able to help prevent it. So make sure you're doing these proper pre-trips. A full pre-trip, not just the partial ones, but a full one. Make sure that you're starting from the tractor and you're going through everything, and then you're transitioning over to the trailer. That's how you avoid violations, at least mechanical or equipment violations. And if you needed a link to some of the checklists for the pre-trips, you can actually access that on our blog, drivedecker.com. Tanya, if you have that link handy, that'd be awesome. I think I might actually have that link handy now that I say that. Yeah. Copy and paste that. Perfect. There you go. Properly functioning brake systems are crucial to the safe commercial motor vehicle operation. That's right. Tanya's putting this on there. Commercial brakes are designed to hold up under tough conditions, but they must be inspected and maintained carefully and consistently so that they operate and perform properly throughout the vehicle's life. We have some of the best equipment that's out there on the road, but that doesn't mean that we don't still have to not only maintain it, but inspect it. Inspect it not only in the shop, but on a daily basis, multiple times a day. I think Dean told us yesterday on our Facebook Live that he checks them at least 5 times a day. It might have even been Josh that said that, but checking them at least 5 times a day. Every time that you stop, you're taking a look at everything. Every time you fuel up, you're doing a walk around, making sure that your truck and trailer are in good working order, that you're not going to have any problems with brakes. Because the last thing you want to happen is coming down a hill and fully loaded and you don't have any brakes. Something seizes up or whatever. You want to make sure that you have your proper braking system. And it's not just brakes. Honestly, if you look at CSA violations in whole, you've got lights are a major issue that are out there. If you're not taking a look at that, if you're not well aware of where your equipment's at, lights are an easy fix. Most of these things are easy fixes as long as you are well aware of them. Once you find an issue with, whether it be mechanical or just a basic, once you find an issue with the truck, you need to let your driver manager know, and you need to let the shop know in order to get that fixed as soon as possible. Remember, communication is key, and whether you're just starting here at Decker, you've been with Decker for years, or you're about to come aboard, keeping those communication modes or channels open is going to help everything all together. So, Tanya says brake-related violations comprise the largest percentage of all out-of-service violations during the roadside inspections. See, that's why they enforce it every year. The number of fatalities and deaths is significant, and therefore, do it. Plus, good reminder. Tanya says, plus a clean inspection is an extra $50. Not too shabby, right? It's an easy $50. You're already going through the pre-trip. You're making sure that everything is in order. And then when you get pulled in, easy $50. Every once in a while, it's an extra $100, $150 if you get pulled in a few times. So the CSA score, or your CSA violations, really CSA stands for compliance, safety, and accountability. CSA is not just compliance, safety, and accountability for the driver, but it's also that way for the company. And that's why not only the driver gets a CSA, but so does the company. As a company, having a high CSA score or a good CSA score is going to be a reflection of not only the maintenance of the equipment, but also the quality of the drivers that they have. So as for us, we're very proud of the quality of drivers that we have. We're very proud of the equipment that we have. So of course we've made sure that it's well maintained. We make sure that our drivers have not only top of the line equipment, great amenities, a great shop, and we keep that communication open so that we can make sure that we're constantly staying up on all of that. So we are being accountable for that reason. We like to keep you updated on these clean inspections. We love to report those on the newsletter. We love to report it on our social media because those are things to celebrate. When you're seeing those clean inspections, and it's not that we get pulled in that often because our CSA score is so good, but it's because we want to celebrate the success of each one of our drivers and as a company as a whole. So again, accountability is what you're seeing with these CSA scores. And then of course, safety is safety first. We got to remember that over and over. Safety comes first, and if you're not on top of that, there we go. Let's give you a little visual. If you're not on top of that, then you start to see a snowball of effect. Your equipment starts to deter. The drivers that you're attracting are not elite drivers, and we want elite drivers because we've got this top line equipment. We are doing everything to take care of you. I mean, look at some of the new announcements that we've had here recently where we've got minimum pay for all of our refrigerated drivers that goes into effect on the 31st. We're going to take care of you. We've got increased benefits. We've got the 30% match on the 401k. We've got Unum Life Balance, which is a employee assistance program. We've got MeMD, and of course medical and dental, Blue Cross Blue Shield. We've got all kinds of benefits, more ways to provide better for our drivers. So not only equipment, but benefits in general. Tanya says the outreach and educational efforts by the CMV inspectors, commercial vehicle inspectors, participating motor carriers, and others in the industry also take place during the brake safety campaign, and they're an integral part to the success of the campaign. Really, there's a whole lot of there's a lot that goes into each of these campaigns, and this is annual, so it's got a lot of hype about it. The launch every year is pretty big, but don't forget that they always do an unannounced one as well. So be on top of your game so that you'll be aware of that. When it comes to CSA, besides the focus on brake safety, which we already know is a major factor because that's a major out of service violation that you'll get, some of the top violations is unsafe driving. And unsafe driving can be, it's a crash indicator, hours of service. It could be, any of those basics. Are you guys familiar, speaking of basics, are you guys familiar with what the basics are? What basics stand for? Yes, no? Maybe? Well, there's 7 basics that the violations are kind of, they're basically categories. The basics are categories. So I'm just trying to keep up with the chat here, so bear with me. But the 7 basics the 7 categories that the CSA Go After are basics as the algorithm, behavior, analysis, safety, improvement, categories. That's what the basics stand for. So unsafe driving is number 1, is number 1. 65% of all violations are under unsafe driving. And that's one of our major factors, is we need to be well aware of traffic signals, traffic devices, making sure that we're not passing up scales. Those are simple things to be aware of. And yet you can get a violation for it, which can knock you on the unsafe driver or unsafe driving. And it's an easy fix, so be aware. Just like when you're doing a pre-trip. Don't get in a rush. Take your time to do everything properly so that you don't miss a step. But as unsafe driving is one of the major violations, under unsafe driving basic is, like I said, failure to obey a traffic signal. And it could be just as much as overseeing a scale, passing a scale without noticing. The second one is speeding. Speeding 6 to 10 over. Again, that's something we're in control of. We'll be aware of it. Know your surroundings. Know your speed. Very easy. The 7 basics, or the 7 behavioral analysis safety improvement categories are, like I said, number 1, unsafe driving. You've got the crash indicator. Hey, Corbin's on. The crash indicators, or indication. You have the hours of compliance. Yes, it's going to change just a little bit for some of the short haul here on the 29th of September. But other than that, you've got the hours of service. You're well aware of those and how those are being handled. Vehicle maintenance is another indicator. Controlled substance or alcohol abuse or alcohol, that's another one. Number 6 would be hazardous materials, being in compliance with hazardous materials, and driver fitness. Driver fitness, a lot of you are unaware of what driver fitness can entail, but getting the proper amount of sleep and not being tired is a big one. And yes, of course, being able to do any of your job is going to fall into that as well, but medically qualified for that position. Corbin says, where's Anna? She is off. She had surgery. She's doing much better and hopefully getting a lot of rest. She does. It's earned, though, I can tell you. Yep, I'll tell her that too. I'll pass that on to her. So how does the CSA affect the company? A little bit more detail on it. Like I said, it's a reflection of the company. It does help lower our insurance costs, which is a huge plus. Back last December, well, not even just last December. I mean, look at last year as a whole, 2019, and the beginning of 2020. You were seeing companies that were making major adjustments to their insurance. You were seeing a lot of companies closing because of the cost of insurance. A lot of that is because of their CSA score. If they didn't have a good CSA score, their insurance costs were skyrocketing, plus with additional factors that have been happening here in the last year and a half, we're seeing more and more companies affected by those insurance costs. Having a good CSA score and having control over that is going to make a huge difference in your overhead costs. So yes, having a good CSA score is definitely going to affect your insurance costs. Plus, you're going to have fewer DOT audits, fewer roadside inspections. Think about the number of times that we have inspections. I'm trying to think of how many inspections we had all together last week. Would have been a good number to present to you. But knowing the number of inspections versus clean inspections, and that we have been pulled in for, and then recognizing how many trucks we have. We've got about 700 trucks, and then we figure the number of inspections that we have is pretty minimal for the number of trucks, and that's because we do have a good CSA score, and we have fewer roadside inspections because of that. Now remember, when it comes to this brake safety, this air brake safety inspection week, a lot of us are going to be pulled in more often than we would have normally because they are trying to do a push on this, making sure that they're covering their grounds and being well aware of the brake safety. So I cannot stress it enough, and not just this week, but every week, that you do a thorough pre-trip. That will save your bacon when it comes to getting a clean inspection. And a clean inspection is one thing. Yes, we love to see those, and absolutely you should be getting clean inspections each and every time. But honestly, the reason we're doing these inspections, the reason that they're even there, is for safety. Where's my safety sign? Safety first. Your safety. The safety of everybody out on the road. Yes, the product. Yes, for our customers. But your safety and the safety of everybody out on the road. We are responsible. You, as a professional driver, are responsible. And we want to make sure that we are doing a good job and not just rushing through things to get to the next step. Okay? Corbin says, hopefully I'll be back in the truck next week. Yes, I hope so too. I bet you are going crazy at home. Also, it's Pet Week, right? Yes, it is. Submit your picture to either marketing@deckermail.com. So let me put that in here. Submit to marketing@deckermail.com or facebook.com/detail inc. Sorry, side note, but we wanted to make sure that we got those pictures. So Tanya says we had 9 violation-free inspections for $450 that we paid out last week. Looks like we had 19 inspections altogether. So we want to see more clean inspections. Let's see a better percentage. Thanks for that info. I wasn't sure how many we had altogether. Okay, so excellent. What did I say? It lowers insurance costs. It prevents those additional roadside inspections and DOT audits. It's a good reputation for our customers, of course, and for the drivers that we attract because of not only our equipment, but our ratings. And it makes everything a whole lot more efficient when it comes to profitability, operationals, and that's why we have these bonuses. Have you noticed that our scorecard bonus has the CSA, preventable accidents, all of that, the CSA points that you've occurred during that month, that is factored in on the scorecard bonus. Have you noticed that? It's because if you get a violation with your CSA violation, there you go. If you get a CSA violation, that hurts us as a company. That hurts you as a driver, your reputation, our reputation, and therefore you lose an opportunity or at least lose additional bonus points for your scorecard bonus. Now, think about how we just implemented, or we are in the process of implementing the minimum pay. On the 31st of this month, we will now have $1,000 minimum pay for all of our refrigerated drivers each and every week. In order to qualify for that $1,000, you cannot have a CSA violation or CSA points for that week. So whether you have a warning or you have a ticket on your violation or on your CSA, it's still a violation. And that would be counted against you, and it you could lose your opportunity at that $1,000 minimum guarantee that you have. So please be aware, take the time to do the pre-trip. I know I'm preaching, but it's super duper important. Tanya says potential employees look at the CSA scores as well. Yeah, they do. Absolutely. I know as a recruiter that one of the reports that I run is a PSP report. The PSP report is a reflection of your CSA violations. And yeah, just like Tanya says, warnings matter. If you were pulled over and the officer said, don't worry, it's just a warning, that is still going to be weighed exactly the same as an actual ticket. It might not show up on your MVR, your motor vehicle record, but it will show up on your PSP, which is a reflection of your CSA score. And that PSP stands for Pre-Employment Screening Program. So if you were to come aboard to Decker or numerous other places that are running your PSP, which will eventually be required if it isn't already, then they're going to consider that. If you have violations or warnings, all violations, that are on there that they can't work with, then you don't qualify for the position. Some of those major moving violations that come across as warnings and people don't recognize are using a mobile phone device. So if you're not using a hands-free, if you're driving without a commercial driver's license, or if you don't have that in hand, or driving on a suspended license, major violations. Improper lane change, erratic lane change, speeding, that's 15 miles per hour or more over, following too close. Of course, careless, reckless, DUIs, DWIs, those are major as well. But all of those that I just named, all of those, whether they are an actual ticket or a violation warning, are still considered major, and the insurance will see that, the prospective company will see that, and they all count against you. Speeding is a huge one. Absolutely. Speeding is one of the major ones for us. And honestly, you're seeing 5 to 10 over. If you see a lot of 5 to 10 over, they add up. Warnings matter. Yep. Without working logs, that's another one. That is another one. We are using the Omnitrax Qualcomm unit right now. We're in the midst of transitioning into the GeoTab. So the TransFlow GeoTab unit. We want the most accurate, most up-to-date, most user-friendly equipment, software that we can for you, and that will be it. And that's why we're transitioning to it. Because there's no reason why we shouldn't be having working logs for you and top-of-the-line equipment, because that is, driven to be the best. If we're going to have that tagline, we're going to provide. Any questions on how that can affect a company and why it's so important for the company? Feel free to ask. Or what the CSA score is, Now, that's one thing. And I know having that information is really important, so you kind of get the view of the company, a view of Decker, and why we look at that information, and why we have it implemented in all of our bonuses. But then take it from your viewpoint. How can you improve your CSA points, and why is it important to improve those? Evaluating the policies and procedures for Decker is one way. Any areas that cause safety issues, breakdowns. So you're checking all of the hardware. You're checking for cracks, abrasions, wears, tears, whatever, whether it's in tubing, if it's in fuel filters, whatever it might be. Just the equipment in general, making sure the lights are working properly. All the lights, all the reflectors are there. Those are all things that you have to double check. Knowing your role and your responsibility as a driver here at Decker or anywhere else, as long as it's clearly defined, you know why it's important, and that's why we provide this information for you as well. Always, always, always know that safety is first. And if you have safety first on your mind, I feel like you probably hold yourself more responsible for preventing any maintenance issues. And we've got maintenance staff here to help you. We've got our after hours as well. A lot of you know our after hours or our night ops who are more than willing to keep that communication channel going so that we can get, if you have a maintenance issue, we can get that information over to shop, over to your DM. Maybe it's a safety thing. We're communicating with all of those people to keep everybody who needs to know in the loop in order to keep you moving, keep your wheels turning safely and effectively. Making sure that you know what your qualifications for hiring on here at Decker are, or maintaining your status here at Decker. And yeah, we do have strict guidelines, absolutely. Knowing those strict guidelines, like I said, operating a motor vehicle without a CDL, that's a major moving violation. We can't work with that. Speeding 15 miles per hour over, following too close, all major ones we can't work with. So know your company and know what they can and cannot work with, and just keep everything clean, and then you're not even have to worry about it. We offer additional training, safety trainings every quarter. We were talking about offering even more to keep you up to date. We have our YouTube videos to help you stay fresh with the securement. If you have a question, maybe you haven't hauled a certain type of materials, coils or something for a while, and you wanted a refresher on how to strap those down properly. We've got YouTube videos on those to help remind you. We've got YouTube videos on the TransFlow apps. We've got YouTube videos on doing a proper pre-trip, whether it be flatbed, your tractor, or refrigerated, or whatever. We've got all of those available. Check out our YouTube a little bit later. Check out our YouTube and you'll be able to see all that information. It's all there for continued training to help you out. Corbin says, if people would do their job the right way, we wouldn't have to have this talk. That's true. And some of you guys have never been told how to do it the right way, or have overlooked, or maybe you just were preoccupied and didn't recognize when they were telling you. And that's why we provide that information as well. Keeping everything effective, easy access. You'll also have access on your TransFlow app if you haven't already. Tanya says, exactly. So, yep, stay compliant, document everything. That's, again, we've got the communication going. Documentation is key because the shop can't take care of it if they aren't aware of it. That's why we need to make sure that communication is going all the way through. And that's why being in contact with your fleet manager, a night ops, whoever it is that you first contact, letting them know so that they can pass on that information that's what we're there for. We're a team. We're your support system. Always remember that. And then, of course, we've got, by doing those things and staying on top of it, you're going to be rewarded. That's how you improve. We've got our scorecard bonus. Like I said, we have our minimum pay for our refrigerated division, our guaranteed pay divisions for flatbed and refrigerated. We have our Smart Drive system, which is also an indicator that shows following distance, and it's an additional incentive. It's an extra penny per mile just for the Smart Drive, an extra 4 cents a mile for our company drivers for the scorecard bonus, and 3 cents for our owner-operators and lease purchase drivers. We have our Driver of the Month program. All of these things, the CSA scores and your Smart Drive, your violations, all kind of factor in, or lack thereof, the violations. And of course, we love to give shout outs. We have our Hero of the Week. You're improving on minimum violations and maximizing your scorecard bonus, maximizing your miles and reducing your idle time and better fuel efficiency. While we're seeing those, of course, we're giving shout outs. We've got the Hero of the Week, and we love to do those. We've got our safety jackets, another incentive that you'll receive by continuing to keep safety first. And of course, like I said, the shout outs are a big deal to me. I like those because I get to be part of those. Corbin says, no I in team. Nope and nope. That's right. Communication is key to having your truck work correctly. Yes, and the team behind you work properly. Good point. Thanks, Tanya. Anybody else feel like I got on a soapbox about that? I think it's important. There's so many nooks and crannies on why it's important to keep your CSA violation or CSA score in good standings, not only as a company, but as an individual. If you have quality CSA and MVR, because I know a lot of you guys are looking at your MVRs and you're like, My MVR is spotless. Awesome. That's exactly what we want. That means that you've got control over your where you work, when you work, and all of that. If you have CSA, if your CSA points are clear as well, you have even more control, because that is going to be a more accurate picture of your driving record than your MVR in general. Cool. All right. Well, safety first. And speaking safety first, this week's safety message is just a reminder to make sure that you scale every load. Again, you should not get any overweight tickets. Scale every load. We pay for the scales, so we pay to go get your load scaled. There shouldn't be any reason why you wouldn't be scaling it, right? Have them adjust it if it's out of whack. If it's too heavy, adjust it. Move your axles if you need to. Get it back to where it needs to be so that it's proper. You're proper. Avoid that violation. No reason to get it. No reason to get it at all. Excellent. What else? I thought I saw something pop up. Oh. Nope. All right. So I didn't know if we announced the driver of the hero of the week. Did anybody get that this week? I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday. No? All right. See if you recognize this face. Where is it at? There we go. Tell me if you recognize this face. Congratulations to Aaron Stevenson for our hero of the week. You guys see that? There you go. The picture is of Ashley and Aaron. But congratulations to Aaron for hero of the week, for everything that you've done. If you guys haven't read the post, I wish you would go do that. Facebook.com/DTLink. Taking the extra time, going the extra mile. You know, one of the best compliments or best reflections of an individual is what they do for other people, and how they go over and above. Corbin. How somebody would go over and above to help somebody, and Aaron has done that time and time again, and so we'd just like to recognize him for all his efforts, and thank you very much for doing everything that you do for each and every one of us, and thank you everybody else who also does the same. Corbin says Aaron. Aaron will definitely get a kick out of that. Aaron in the recruiting office, she'll appreciate that as well. If you don't know it, you should go find the video. But congratulations to Aaron Severson for that. Thank you. If you guys want to submit a hero of the week or somebody for hero of the week, please send that to facebook.com/DTLinc or marketing@DeckerMail, and along with why you would like them submitted as hero of the week, please provide a picture as well, and that way we can recognize them each week. So thank you guys. All right, don't forget, next week, or I guess tomorrow, we'll have the cutoff at noon. So you've got a day, you've got 24 hours out, you've got 23 hours in order to get your submissions in to marketing@deckermail.com or marketing@deckermail.com or facebook.com/DTLink. There you go. I got it. But get your submissions in. Pet contest. And you can start submitting your other pictures too. If you have a picture for what's for dinner, or if you have a picture of your hobby, you can start submitting those as well. Just identify that's what those are for, so I know. But the pet ones have to be in by tomorrow in order to qualify for a chance to win $40 and a gift card to the Pilot Flying J and a Decker cap. Corbin says, what? Okay, I guess I have to do it now. Yes, you do. Do it. And this is not only for Decker drivers. I should probably remind everybody, anybody who's on here, Bob, that's you included, bud. Bob, go ahead and do it. Alexa, Night Ops, she's gone ahead and submitted some of her pictures. If you didn't already, I should probably share some of those again. Some of those pictures if you guys haven't already seen them. There you go. All right. Now let's, while you're viewing these pictures, why don't we tell you a little bit about some of the positions that we currently have available here at Ducker. Huge reminder that we've increased our Midwest flatbed guaranteed pay. It's $14.50 if you live anywhere from, of course we do require nine months of tractor trailer experience for this. So I want to make sure that is super clear because that's the first question that, the first question that I get asked. Tanya says she can't get her dog to sit still long enough to take a picture. Tackle him. Or not. All right, so the $14.50 a week, that's our guaranteed pay for our Midwest flatbed division. If you have the 9 months of experience with the tractor trailer, flatbed tractor trailer, then you'll qualify for it if you live within this region. So the best way to describe it is anywhere from St. Louis, Missouri, over to through Evansville, up towards Louisville, Kentucky, up towards Cleveland, Columbus, and then back over west, going through everything from Detroit, Chicago, and back down to Iowa City, further down to St. Louis. Anywhere in between, so that's going to be parts of Iowa and Indiana and Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Milwaukee's in there. Don't forget Milwaukee, Mason City to, Mason City to Fort Dodge can get you home. Not only on a weekly basis, but getting you that $14.50 a week. So if you have questions on it, let us know. This is what qualifies you for that guaranteed pay. Obviously, you got to be available to run. You got to be available at least 5 days out of the week in order to run. So normally you're coming back home on a Friday night or Saturday morning, and then leaving back out Sunday night or Monday morning. Keeping that in mind, that means that your pay has to be in by Sunday night in order to get paid the following Friday. If you don't have your paperwork in, you can't get paid. We got to have that paperwork. The paperwork is what keeps the money coming in from our customers so that we can pay you. So that's why we're always on top of that. All right, so get your paperwork in, be available for dispatch. No driver service failures. What does that mean? That means you have to have your load there on time. So no driver service related failures. If it was a mechanical issue or if they changed the time, whatever, if it's non-driver service related, then you'll be fine. But if it's a driver service related failure, then that would be counted against you. So get your paperwork in, no driver service related failures, be available for dispatch. Don't turn down any loads. This is more of a regional position, so you're not going into New York or New England. So make sure that you're available for all the loads and that you're not turning down any of those loads. Your CSA points. Do not get any CSA points for that week. That'll keep you eligible. Same with preventable accidents. If you had a preventable accident that week, then you are disqualified for that guaranteed pay or even the minimum pays for that week alone. All right, any questions on that? Pretty basic, I know, but those are there. Those are set up for you. So our minimum pay, same thing. It's $1,000 a week minimum, but the same requirements. Being available for dispatch, working at least 5 days out of the week, out of the 7-day week, splitting those days so that if you're out for, say, 2 weeks at a time, say you're in the over-the-road refrigerated division, and you're out 2 weeks at a time, split those 3 days home, or 4 days if you're going to be out 3 weeks at a time. Split those so that you've got 2 days on 1 week and 2 days on another week. That way you're still available at least 5 days out of the week. And you're not getting hit hard on your paycheck so that you're not overloading one paycheck and minimizing another. You're going to be even. You're going to have a constant paycheck. You're going to have this stability and consistency that is very rarely found in trucking. So you'll have that. That's the minimum pay. So yeah, did I tell you the qualifications? Yeah, be available for dispatch. Don't turn down loads. And get your paperwork in. Be available at least 5 days out of the week. No CSA points for the week. No preventable accidents for the week. By the way, if you did get a CSA violation or if you had a preventable accident that week, that has no bearing on the following week or even the week before. So this is not a monthly bonus. This is not a monthly paycheck. This is a weekly paycheck. So as long as you get your paperwork in by Sunday and you follow all of those expectations that we have for you, whether it be minimum pay or guaranteed pay divisions, then you're fine. You're going to be getting that paycheck come Friday. If you don't get your paperwork in, then you're going to be getting the pay per mile. If you fail to do any of those, then you'll be getting the pay per mile based off of your experience times the amount of miles that you run. The same thing goes if the number of miles that you ran exceed that with your pay per mile would exceed that $1,000 for the minimum pay in our refrigerated divisions, or $1,250 for our Midwest refrigerated, or $1,450 for our Midwest flatbed. If your pay per mile and the number of miles that you ran exceed what you would make at that guaranteed or minimum pay, you're going to get the better of the two, because we want to see you do better, not drop you down. We want to see you continue to do better. And again, if you're getting those guaranteed pays and the minimum pays, odds are you're probably going to be getting that scorecard bonus each month as well. And so instead of seeing, 60,000 that we saw this month, I'd like to see 80,000 next month. We've got more people aware of it, more people conscious of what it takes to get that bonus. Let's see it. Tanya says, earn $1,500 per driver. Oh yeah, plus if you want to overload it and you want to see a bunch, because we still have holidays coming up, right? So we've got the referral bonus as well, so keep that in mind. You can add a whole bunch. Last year's referral winner, he actually did most of his referring, all of his referring in the last quarter, and he had 5 referrals for the year. So that means he won an additional $2,500 bonus and a jacket. What else do you get? You got a jacket, business cards, decals, all kinds of goodies for that. All right. And now we do have a flatbed over the road that's based out of Bessemer, Alabama. We require a year of flatbed experience for that. So if you have questions, whether it's on refrigerated or van or flatbed, any division that we have, this is the number that you call right here. There, where's it at? Right here? Right? 888-668-0698. 888-668-0698 to get more details on that. Excellent. DriveDecker.com is where you can apply if you haven't already started with Decker. If you are a current driver for Decker, if you are referring somebody, you can go to DriveDecker.com and go onto the referral page, and you can submit a TransFlow referral through there, or you can go on your TransFlow app and refer them that way. Or call the recruiter and say, hey, I've got this gentleman or this lady, she's interested, they're interested, can you please talk to them? And we can give them details based off of what's available in your area, as always. So 888-668-0698. Excellent. Awesome. Don't forget that minimum pay for the refrigerated division, that is all of our refrigerated drivers. All of them. You're going to have at least $1,000 every single week. At least. You've got to meet the expectations. They're basic expectations, but you will have at least $1,000 each week. We want to see you have more than that, and a lot of you are used to seeing more than that all the time. That's not going to change. You'll continue to do that, but that's based off of your mileage and your mileage pay and the amount of miles that you run each week. So be available for dispatch. Kind of nice to see that, that relationship between home time, miles, and this is refrigerated. So yes, you're going to see downtime, and that's why we've implemented this. Is some of that downtime, you're out of control, but as long as you're available for dispatch, as long as you're there for the load, you're doing your part, we're going to be able to take care of you. All right, so call one of the recruiters if you have any questions, 888-668-0698. Remember, safety is first. Please be well aware of the maintenance of your truck. Be well aware of your driving habits. If you need any help with that, like if you need some coaching, don't forget we do have our Smart Drive that will help. We've got Patrice, who is evaluating that all the time, that's there to help. Feel free to give us a call. 888-668-0698. Tanya says, it is nice to have a cushion. Yes, indeed. Makes it a little easier to budget, right? Yippers. All right, stay safe, be safe. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to join me next week at noon Central here on our YouTube channel. But on Monday, Monday at 4 p.m. Central on our Facebook channel, facebook.com/DTLinc. Now, you officially have 23 hours to get me your pet pictures to marketing@deckermail.com or send them to facebook.com/DTLinc. Get those submitted so that we can share those pictures. Aren't they adorable? So cute. All right. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe. Make sure you're doing a proper pre-trip. Thanks, you guys.